Thank you and welcome to today's webinar, Inspection Readiness, Understanding the BIMO Inspection Requirements for Sponsors, CROs, Monitors, and Investigators. My name is Marla Helly and I'll be your trainer for today's webinar. The learning objectives for today's webinar, we are going to describe how the FDA CPGM BIMO is used in FDA inspections. We're also going to identify the most common type of inspection findings that have occurred for sponsors, CROs, and investigators. And also we're going to look at how the FDA CPGM BIMO can aid in preparation for an inspection prior, during, and at the completion of a clinical trial. We know that the BIMO can assist in an inspection preparation because it will help us when we actually look at how the BIMO is written, and then we're going to look at the SOPs that we are developing, making sure that we have an SOP for what the FDA will be looking for or looking at during an inspection, meaning that there are going to be certain items, procedures that the FDA is going to expect when they come on site to either the investigational site, the sponsor, or the CRO. Also, we want to make sure that our teams are trained on the BIMO as well, and to also thoroughly read the BIMO. I think that this really helps individuals understand how the inspection process will occur by the FDA. Often, individuals don't understand how that inspection will occur. What is it that the FDA is going to be seeking when they come to perform an inspection? And then also making sure that you get the word out on the BIMO, making sure that even your investigational sites, if you're from a sponsor or CRO, will also be using the BIMO in your training as well. Let's first take a look at how the FDA is going to be using the BIMO in their inspections. We know that the objective of the BIMO is to protect the right safety and welfare of patients involved in clinical trials. Also, the FDA will want to verify the accuracy and reliability of the data that has been submitted to the FDA for approval of a drug, biologic, or a medical device. And then also ensuring that the regulations were adhered to as well by the sponsor, CRO, the monitors, which would be under that CRO or sponsor, and then also our clinical investigative sites. So when we look at how the inspection actually occurs, typically the inspection is going to happen once the sponsor has submitted their data for marketing application. Or we may have a complaint that has been submitted to the FDA. The FDA gets many complaints that come in every year. They do have to assess the complaints that come in and then prioritize if they will perform an inspection. And so this is how the FDA traditionally is going to go about their inspections. Often we don't see inspections that are occurring during the clinical trial. But now we can look at some of the new initiatives that the FDA is going to consider. And I think the reason why it really helps us see the more robustness of an inspection, to focus where the issues or problems are still occurring during the conduct of the study versus after the trial has been closed. It's going to be much easier to address this. Also, it allows for the FDA to help with the implementation of a corrective action. So there will not be harms done to those patients that would be enrolled in the clinical trial if they're inspecting during the actual time that the patients are on clinical trial. It can also improve how the FDA is going to be following up on those inspections that have harm. And so we want to make sure that the FDA prioritizes then, and they do this by looking at where do I need to focus my time and energy where we've had problems or issues. And then also, too, the FDA can look at some other alternative methods, so they can select investigators or sites for inspection, looking at, say, a risk-based approach or some areas of interest through statistical algorithms. So, say, for example, we have a high SAE rate at a particular site or sites, or we have a high enrollment rate that occurred, or a high at one time, all these patients came in, you know, what's going on here that's different from the other sites, or we had a lot of subjects that withdrew. Why did they withdraw at this site?